Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is Daily Drop number 65. We have some more Ghislaine Maxwell and Prince Andrew news to cover tonight. Our two faves, aren't they just such swell folks? Prince Andrew, the Honorable Prince Andrew, who flew all the way across the ocean to break up with his convicted pedophile buddy. Isn't he just such an honorable man? Good Lord, what would we do without such honor in our world? I mean, where would we ever get a moral code if it wasn't for people like Prince Andrew, right? A guy that just stands head and shoulders above the rest of us. Okay, back to reality. Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell are two of the biggest monsters in the history of monsters, in my opinion. When the history is written, when everything's all said and done, and the cards are all put into the middle of the table, and historians are talking about this case, it'll be known that both of them were sick, depraved individuals, in my opinion. Because the evidence is so overwhelming, it's almost laughable at this point that this woman isn't in handcuffs and her buddy the prince isn't with her. Because if it was anybody else, me, you, your cousin Ronald, your baby mama, your friend Jason, your Uncle Joe, we'd be in for a whole world of hurt. But no, not these people. And ask yourself, why? Why aren't hard questions ever asked? Why is the American press continuing to keep this story on the back burner? Why is there not a full court press to get to the bottom of this story? People don't want to know the facts? Or is it that maybe these reporters, so-called journalists, are being directed by whoever at their companies to not pursue these stories? We've seen what happened with Amy Robach. We've seen that. We've already seen them in action. They squashed that story. We don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is. This is stupid. Yeah, okay, you didn't know who Jeffrey Epstein was. Sure. I mean, they really believe that they truly believe that we're going to believe that people are going to believe that line of BS. Now, in the old days, when we all couldn't get together like we're doing right now on this podcast, and get together and commiserate and throw ideas off of each other and email each other and, correspond without actually being in person or over the phone where you can only talk to one other person, well, of course, they could run whatever narrative they want, and they sure did. Boy, did they take advantage of it. Not only that, but the people that you see on your TV, how many of these people are ex-intelligence? Do yourself a favor and do the research. Go ahead and take a look at MSNBC. Look at all those people on there and see how many of them are ex-intelligence. And then ask yourself, do you truly believe these people? This is who we want to get our news from? These are the purveyors of truth? These are the guardians of the facts? Come on, folks. Come on. There's no way that anyone is buying this anymore, and they can't have it. They can't stand it. So what they'll try and do is they will try and kill this sort of stuff all day, every day, if it preserves their power, and it keeps them the ruling class. And they know that if the curtain really gets drawn back on this situation, that their whole entire implementation of their agenda will be ruined. Because people won't stand for it. People will not stand for it. If you want to get in contact with me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI.com. Excuse me, BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. So the articles we have tonight, there's one about Ghislaine Maxwell and the very last pictures that were taken of her. And then the other article we're going to read is about, well, not only was Ghislaine Maxwell invited to Beatrice's birthday, oh no, and not only was her good friend Jeff Epstein invited, oh no, but we had to go for the trifecta, folks. We had to have the three-headed rapey monster. For good measure, let's throw in Harvey Weinstein. Boy, isn't this going to be fun, huh? Reading about good old Harv being invited to an 18-year-old's birthday. God only knows what was going through their minds while they were there, right? Do you think that they were there for the cake and for the pleasantries? Or do you think they were there to recruit? I'll leave that up to you, but Buckingham Palace seems to be filled with sick people like this, from Jimmy Savile, however you pronounce his name, all the way on through Jeffrey Epstein. There's something really rotten at the core of elite society, folks, and we're really starting to get a good look at it right now, and I hope you take a nice, hard look at what's going on, because it's absolutely disgusting. All right, the first article is from news.com.au, an Australian outlet. It's the last time Ghislaine Maxwell was seen in public. Snapped at a yacht club party on June 9th with Paris Hilton, the alleged pimp for disgraced millionaire Jeffrey Epstein has not been seen since. Oh, does that shock anyone that she hangs out with Paris Hilton? It shouldn't, considering the who's who list of people that they've all hung out with, Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, etc., etc. It doesn't matter what charges were brought against these people. It doesn't matter the allegations that were brought against these people. All of these crazy elites in Hollywood, they don't care. They do not care. Oh, no. You're allowed to be as sick as you want. Because guess what? You're one of their people, right? You're part of their group. Why in the world would someone like Paris Hilton, who we all know is not very bright, obviously, be hanging out with Ghislaine Maxwell? Maxwell, 57, has been described as a recruiter of young girls for Epstein, who committed suicide in a New York jail in August, allegedly. The whole world has been waiting for the woman at the center of the Epstein scandal to surface or speak out, having flown under the radar since the controversy started. Again, folks, ask yourself how. Normal people can't go under the radar, all right? All they have to do is ping your cell phone or check your metadata, etc., etc. If they want to find you, they will find you. If you're hiding in a cave in Afghanistan or you're in an igloo in the great Arctic North, they will find you. So, ask yourselves, who's protecting Ghislaine Maxwell? Where is she? And why? The British socialite and ex-girlfriend of Epstein, the British socialite? How about the British accused pedophile and ex-girlfriend of Epstein has been accused of conspiring, trafficking, and trying to maintain and conceal a sex trafficking ring. The latest photo was taken a few days after Maxwell met with Epstein's friend Prince Andrew at Buckingham Palace. The Duke has denied discussing Epstein in the chat at his private quarters. So, why would you even get into that if you're Andrew? Why would you deny that? So that's the headline that they'll run right away. Prince denies ever talking about Epstein. It's such a goddamn joke to even think about, right? It is such a joke to think that they didn't discuss this man while they were there. All right? You obviously discussed him. It's not even a question. So why would you even answer that question? Their meeting came just a month before Epstein was arrested on sex trafficking charges. The day of their meeting, Maxwell was also pictured in London for the Cash and Rocket rally for 80 of the world's most successful women. And this is what bothers me, folks, right? In the age of Me Too, all it takes is a simple allegation. If you're not part of the posse, and you are completely and utterly destroyed. Ghislaine Maxwell, it's not just allegations, folks. It's not just one person pointing the finger. There are multiple credible accusations, and yet she is at a rocket rally for 80 of the world's most successful women. Successful at what? Procuring young girls? Successful at abusing them? Successful at ruining lives? I don't want to hear this successful woman. She's not a successful woman. She's a predator. All right? She belongs in prison. She was seen ahead of the rally photo call at Wellington Arch with the Queen's Guards in the background. That day, she left the Capitol in a red Ferrari with Nettie Mason, wife of Pink Floyd drummer Nick. The rally visited Paris and Geneva before finishing in Monaco on June 9th, where Maxwell attended the yacht party. Source, you know what's so funny about that? Her father was on a yacht when he supposedly died, quote-unquote died. Maybe it wouldn't be bad if Maxwell had the same fate, right? Because that's exactly what's going to end up happening with her. If anyone really thinks she's going to be able to talk at this point, I highly doubt that's going to occur. She's going to string along the investigators, and either her handlers are going to A, disappear her in Epstein's fashion, or they'll bury her somewhere, as in not kill her, but they'll hide her somewhere. And if you don't think that the intelligence agencies have the ability to squirrel somebody away and hide them away, I don't know what to tell you. You have not been paying attention. Sources have told The Sun Prince Andrew and Maxwell have remained in touch during the Epstein controversy. The Duke has an unswerving loyalty to Ghislaine, and she is also very loyal to him, a source said. Why do you think that? Do you think it's possible that Ghislaine Maxwell has the dirt still on the Duke, and his unswerving loyalty is not out of, his love for her, but it's out of self-preservation to make sure this information does not get out into the public? Let's be real. That is exactly what it looks like. Ghislaine will do anything to protect the Duke, and the feeling is mutual. They both share the same view that they have done nothing wrong. Well, of course they do, because they're both elitist sons of bitches, right? They both come from an elite school of thought. They both look at you and I and think that, who are these disgusting people? Oh, this is just the work staff. Bring me my croissants. Give me a break, dude, with these people already. They'll do anything for each other. Oh, how cute. What a love story. What a modern day English love story. Andrew has always been very stubborn, and as far as he is concerned, both he and Ghislaine have done nothing wrong, and so why should anything get in the way of a friendship that has lasted more than 20 years? Yeah, why a few little charges of a girl raping of Ghislaine Maxwell abusing somebody? Come on. There's no way you did that. I'll protect you in public and you protect me. And we'll use our reputations as our shields because we donated a bunch of money or we're royalty, so we can't do that. It couldn't have been us. You have it all wrong. Are you not sickened by these people? Are you not sickened? He's stubborn. He's honorable. He's the prince. Last week, explosive new pictures showed Prince Andrew and Epstein and Maxwell at the UK races. Oh, and like I said, there's even more explosive pictures in the next article. The never-before-seen photos of the scandal hit royal were shown on the BBC program Panorama, where Virginia Roberts shared new details of the night she allegedly had sex with Prince Andrew as a 17-year-old, claiming she felt ashamed afterwards. Yeah, I don't blame her. Have you seen the jowls on this guy? He looks like the character from the new Mandalorian show that Nick Nolte voices. I have spoken. That's what he, with the jowls and the whole flip. What a weird-looking cat, right? Imagine being this young girl and having that dullard on top of you. Give me a break against your will. Talk about being absolutely and utterly ashamed. The empathy I have for these girls is just, I can't even begin to explain how bad I feel for these girls. These sick, fat, old, disgusting, depraved perverts. What a bunch of gross sons of bitches. In the photos, the trio are wearing hats and fancy racewear, laughing and smiling at the famous event in 2000. Fancy racewear? What is that? All right, normal people don't even know what that is. What, are you dressed like a jockey? What do you mean fancy racewear? The trio's outing at Ascot was at a time when the prince has claimed he was seeing Epstein once or twice a year. Prince Andrew had been introduced to Epstein just months before by Miss Maxwell. It was also during this time that Miss Maxwell and Epstein attended Windsor Castle for the prince's 40th birthday. The Dance of the Decades, a lavish party hosted by the Queen, celebrated 4 royal birthdays, including Prince Andrew's 40th, the Princess Royal's 50th, the Queen Mother's 100th, and Princess Margaret's 70th. Can you guys keep up with all of that? Seems like a whole hell of a lot of tax dollars being wasted for a bunch of self-aggrandizement. Nobody cares what your bloodline is. Have you seen your relatives? Have you seen what they look like across the region? All right, all the inbreeding obviously leads to disgustingness like Andrew. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. That's my opinion. The monarchy should be done away with. In Prince Andrew's interview with Newsnight last month, he said Epstein was there at his invitation, not the royal family's. He added that the financier was Miss Maxwell's plus one. The financier. You mean the pedophile. And it doesn't make it any better that it was Miss Maxwell's plus one. She is just as guilty, just as gross, and just as sick as Jeffrey Epstein was. Are you kidding me right now? Early the following year, in the most infamous photo of all, the Duke of York was pictured with his arm around the waist of 17-year-old Miss Roberts, then with Miss Maxwell standing in the background. On the panorama program, Miss Roberts, now a married mum of three, described sex with the Duke as quick and disgusting. He got up and he said thanks, and walked out, and I just sat there in bed, just horrified and ashamed, and felt dirty, and had to get up and have a shower, she said. Look, I need to have a shower after I read each of these articles. After I do these drops in these podcasts, I feel dirty. This whole entire sordid ordeal is just disgusting and maddening, and gets my blood pressure through the roof. The interview was filmed before Prince Andrew's train wreck BBC appearance last month, but the reporter confirmed Miss Roberts stood by every word. And that's another thing. Why did BBC not play it right away? Why did they wait? Why were they sitting on that interview? That's something we're going to have to get into at some point. Miss Roberts, 36, alleges she was trafficked as a sex slave by Epstein and made to have sex with Prince Andrew 3 times in 2001 and 2002 in the U.S., London, and the Caribbean when she was 17 years old. Prince Andrew, 59, has denied he had sex with her and said he had no recollection of meeting her in a world first interview with Newsnight last month. Never mind the pictures, never mind the witnesses, never mind any of that. Just believe me, all right? I'm Prince Andrew, and I want you to believe me, you serf, you plebe. I'm the Prince of the Duke of York. Nobody cares, okay? Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you are, what your bloodline is. You're a liar. That's what we care about. You are a liar, in my opinion, Duke of York. All right, our next article is from the Daily Mail. Headline: Shocking photo of Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell attending Princess Beatrice's 400,000-pound Victorian-themed coming-of-age 18th birthday party piles fresh pressure on Prince Andrew. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So now you got Weinstein added to the mix. Could you get any more rape in one picture? Can you have any more, is there any group of rapists that are more prevalent in one picture? Ay. A photo showing billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, his alleged pimp Ghislaine Maxwell, and disgraced film mogul Harvey Weinstein together at Princess Beatrice's 18th birthday has emerged. The grinning trio posed together at Windsor Castle party hosted by Beatrice's father, Prince Andrew, before the sex scandals had engulfed them all. Well, isn't that nice? So this just shows you that they were all running around together. You don't think they got into their cups and they traded war stories? Old Harv talking about the casting couch, maybe sending old Jeffy boy a girl or two. Yeah, I'll send her over. She wants to work for Victoria's Secret. I already told her she can come see you, Jeffy Jeffer. I mean, really? Astonishingly, as they rubbed shoulders with royalty at the Victorian-themed party in 2006, U.S. police had already raided Epstein's Florida mansion and prepared an arrest warrant for him to answer child sex allegations. Okay, listen to me closely, okay? Are you telling me, you would have me believe that the security detail of Buckingham Palace had no idea that this was going on? No one in America flagged them and told them, yo, you have this guy who's about to get blasted for child crimes coming to your shindig here to an 18-year-old's birthday. Probably not the best thing for optics, right? Well, who gives a shit? They don't care. Andrew doesn't care. Come on, old Jeff, you're invited. I mean, on what planet do these people live on? And furthermore, as a father, why would you let anyone near your child, 18 or 80, I don't care how old they are, a convicted sex offender near your young daughter? I don't understand. Andrew, 59, has said he was not aware of the investigation or the warrant when he invited Epstein to Beatrice's party, adding that he had been invited as socialite Miss Maxwell's guest. She was named in the documents too, okay? You lying son of a bitch. God, you're such a liar. I mean, are you kidding me right now? But the photo, which was published in The Sun on Sunday, raises fresh questions about the prince's relationship with the rich and powerful and his apparent willingness to invite them into the heart of the British establishment. Now, mind you, this is an 18-year-old girl's birthday, and you invite these two sick, disgusting sex criminals to the party. You don't think they were checking girls out? You don't think they were just maybe... you know what? I'll take it a step further. We should really look into if any of those girls that were there at that party ended up being abused by these idiots. And if they are, we should hold the royal family responsible. Hollywood mogul Weinstein's rape trial is due to start next month. The 67-year-old has denied the charges against him, including a sexual assault in 2006, the same year as Beatrice's party. If you don't think Weinstein and Epstein were diddling people together, I have a bridge to sell you in the middle of the Nevada desert, okay? And if you don't think they were all involved with the mega group, then you really are not paying attention to what's going on, or you don't want to know the truth, and all you're doing is looking for some sort of ammunition for your political jihad. All right? Because the facts are very clear of what's going on in this case. And anyone who's not paying attention to the people that are involved and then the people that are involved with them, well, I don't know what to say to you. I truly don't know what to say to you at this point. Go back to the very beginning and listen to all the podcasts, because I have to tell you, it's so obvious that all of these people run in the same circles. They look at people the same way. And the rich and famous in America believe that they're our ruling class. They believe that they're the aristocracy. They believe that they're our royals. And the sad part is, we let them get away with it. We treat them like that. We give them deference whenever they speak, as if they've ever had a thought that has been profound. All right? No, Chelsea Handler, you're not Aristotle. Okay? I'm sorry. You're not. Shut your yap and do what it is that you do. You're not the moral equivalent of anybody Hollywood star. All right? You're nobody's moral compass. All right? Live your life. Do your silly little, your little movies or your shows or whatever. Here's a few shekels. Dance for me. Besides that, nobody really cares. You're not the elite. You're not the ruling class of America. And even in England, it's a thing of the past. The monarchy is not going to be around for much longer. That is my prediction. At the very least, the Windsor family will not be in rule for much longer. That is my prediction. A lawyer for several Epstein victims told The Sun on Sunday that a fairly extensive investigation was underway into the financier's depraved abuse of teenage girls by the time of Beatrice's coming-of-age party. There's no way he didn't know, guys. I'm sorry. There is no way he did not know. Jack Scarola said, "It is absolutely certain that at the time of the Windsor Castle gathering, Jeffrey Epstein was aware an investigation was going on. A search warrant had been executed on his home. I will leave it to others to judge whether it goes to the heart of concerns about the conduct of Prince Andrew." Well, I guess that's me. I'm others. So if you're leaving it to me, I think he's guilty. I want him arrested. I need him to be questioned, because all of this leads to one thing and one thing only: absolute and utter guilt that you or I would be thrown under the bus for. We'd be sharing a cell right now with a murderer. All right? Several women want Andrew to be called as a witness over their claims they were abused by Epstein. They say the Duke saw young women give massages at Epstein's homes in Florida and the Caribbean. He has denied he saw anything suspicious. Keyword suspicious. In whose mind? Suspicious in his mind or in a normal, regular person's mind? So that's something we have to remember. The words are important. Virginia Roberts said that she was forced to have sex with him when she was 17. The scandal forced the prince to resign from his patronages and royal duties, although there were reports yesterday that he planned to make his first public appearance on Christmas Day by joining the Queen and the royal family members at the church service at Sandringham in Norfolk. Aw, how cute. Let's bring him to church, because that'll save us all. We'll use religion as our shield this time. Look, he's a good God-fearing boy. He couldn't have done this. Come on, man. He should not be anywhere in the public eye. Oh, I don't care that he's just been accused at this point, all right? I'm not saying he should be arrested right now and thrown, in prison for the rest of his life. He deserves a trial like everybody else. but to bring him for Christmas, I think it's an absolute joke. A Buckingham Palace spokesman told the Sunday Times the Duke of York, how about the Duke of Dork, is still part of the royal family, and you can expect to see him at family occasions. The palace refused to comment on the photograph of Epstein, Miss Maxwell, and Weinstein at Beatrice's party, which was a private event. The Queen threw the £400,000 party at Windsor for her granddaughter, although she and Prince Philip did not attend. Yeah, I wonder why. But whoever their security detail probably was like, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. It's going to be pretty rapey at the party. What's the weather? Oh, it's calling for clouds and a little bit of rape. Some 400 guests were invited to the Victorian-themed masked ball, including Prince Edward and wife Sophie and Peter and Zara Phillips. Beatrice posed for a formal photograph with her father Andrew, mother Sarah Ferguson, and younger sister Eugenie, taken against the same backdrop as the Epstein photograph. Aw, I wonder if Uncle Jeff slipped you a card for your birthday. How cute. Isn't it nice that your good old Uncle Jeffy that your dad brought around was such a fantastic guy? Boy, your dad's a swell judge of character, princess. Beatrice wore a £10,000 blue taffeta gown designed by Georgina Chapman, who later married Hollywood producer Weinstein. Oh, well, look at all the connections. Don't you just love all of these threads that we yank on the podcast, folks? Don't you just love it where it leads us? Sheesh. Weinstein, who wore formal evening dress, has since been accused of sexually abusing and harassing several actresses and aides. He denies the allegations. Epstein, who wore a U.S. Navy dress uniform to the party, was found dead in his prison cell while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. And if you look at the outfit that he wore, it has like a Navy SEAL Triton on it, all sorts of shit. This dude was never in the Navy. Why is he wearing this? So add to all of his other stuff, stolen valor as well. Way to go, Epstein. I hope this dude is burning in the very bottom of hell. If there is a hell, I hope he is in the very bottom of it, and I hope he is burning eternally, because this man is so disgustingly evil. His former girlfriend, Miss Maxwell, the daughter of media tycoon Robert Maxwell, who is pictured wearing a gold mask and feathered red headdress, was invited to meet Andrew at Buckingham Palace earlier this year. This year, folks, 2019. This year, current time, 2019. This idiot invited Maxwell there, and what do you think she came for? Think about the email. Oh, I have some questions about Virginia Roberts in 2015. And now Epstein gets arrested again. And now they have they think that it's going to be private meeting now because they do it in private. Well, what do you think? People aren't going to know about that? Come on, man. Just come on already. His former, During his disastrous Emily Maitlis interview on Newsnight, the Duke denied they had discussed the Epstein scandal or Miss Roberts' claims that she was forced into having sex with Andrew. Okay, Prince, can someone answer me this then? What questions did you have about Virginia Roberts when you emailed your good friend and buddy rapist, Ghislaine Maxwell? What questions did you have? Were you asking what sort of concert ticket she likes or candy, or what were you asking? Miss Roberts, now a married mother of three, gave an extraordinary interview to BBC's Panorama that aired last week, in which she said she was abused by Andrew and left feeling ashamed and dirty. Her lawyer, Mr. Scarola, said, "We want Prince Andrew to give evidence under oath and tell us all he knew about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell." Andrew has said he would cooperate with law enforcement authorities if required. Well, yeah, you're required, so are you going to do it willingly, or do you have to get slapped with a subpoena? Because we all know that guys like this, especially now after he came under such fire for that interview, he's going to be hard-pressed to talk to the authorities. I don't care what he says. There is no way in hell legal counsel is going to let him do that. And if they do, then I'm convinced that he's a sacrifice for the royal family, and they're doing this to save face. And, look, I would not be surprised if something happens to Prince Andrew. A helicopter crash, something like that. Because we know how these people are. We know how incredibly devious they are. And if you think that they're going to let their image be destroyed, if the prince in waiting is going to let his image be destroyed, or if the Windsors won't hold on with both hands and both feet if they feel their power slipping away as monarchs, forget it. They will. All right? They will. They are power-hungry folk, just like everybody else at that level of elitism. And it's scary and dangerous to think that these are the animals that are ruling over us. But like I said earlier, folks, and I've been saying now for a while, 2020 is the year that we turn the predators into the prey. If you would like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. If you would like to support the show, the GoFundMe link is in the description box. For all of these pictures, you can also, like usual, click on the link where it says source and follow the link to the Daily Mail, and you can check out all of the pictures of Epstein, Weinstein, and Maxwell in their whatever the hell it is they're doing at this 18-year-old girl's birthday. All right, everybody, I'll be back tomorrow morning with the morning update and the daily drop and anything in between. Like I said, I got a couple of things that I've been working on exclusively, a couple of projects I've been working on that have to do with this case that I'm going to be releasing this week. We'll take probably take a little bit of time, half hour, 30-minute, 40-minute segments to discuss both, but both are very interesting topics in this case, and both have been discussed in some of the other corridors of information on this case, and obviously they're not mainstream stories yet, but I have a feeling that both of these stories are going to pick up legs and hit the mainstream at some point. So I want to get ahead of all that and make sure that you guys have that information. And like always, I don't have all the answers. So once I get that information out there, I can get emails from you like I do now, and we can work together to uncover and unravel all of this stuff, because it's not me, it's we, right? I just happen to have the loudest mouth, I guess. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling, folks, and we're going to keep the pressure on. I'll talk to you tomorrow.